30 minutes. I think it's a fair result. I don't think right now United can expect to go there and win a game like that, especially with some of the injuries that they have. So it seemed fair, but if you think about 3 games, 3 points, that's not what anybody would have expected at this point.
OK, well, it's a night with lots to talk about. 2 European win after 3 draws in their first 3 matches in this Europa League season. Paul, what did you make of the performance overall from United tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was OK. I thought the second half was better than actually the first half, where they were leading the game. I thought Fenerbahce were in control of most of that game. It wasn't until Fenerbahce scored that they decided to sit back, and United then had most of the possession, had a couple of half chances. I suppose I think Garnacho had an half-decent chance from the edge of the box, but never really looked like winning the game. We felt right from the start when the team was picked, it took away the chance of winning the game, and like we said before, they're not really in a position to pick and choose games what they can win and can't win. He's got to go with his best team all the time, and sometimes his best team isn't even going to be good enough. But I think if he'd have played Højlund, if he'd played Casemiro tonight, I think there would have been a different result.
Do you think that as well? If he'd played a different team tonight, he might have come away with a win?
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree. But I think he's worried about Højlund. He knows he needs him, and obviously maybe, I know it was a brilliant performance against Brentford, but he probably needs him for West Ham on the weekend. So maybe he thinks he needs to rest him because of, his previous injuries. But I definitely would have played Casemiro. Mazraoui, they tried that as a 10. He did okay, but I don't think it's something they'll go back to. I thought Ugarte played really well. I thought he looked really good. But offensively, they didn't create as much, I think you would have expected. Marcus had a couple of bright moments. Garnacho, he always does. But I just think that was always going to be a draw, the way that game panned out. OK, let's take a look at the goals then, starting off with Eriksen, who scores the opener for Manchester United. It's a good team goal, isn't it, Paul? Yeah, it is really good. Ugarte, I thought, probably had his best game for United as well. He played the position really well, I thought. Some good tackles, lovely way to pass there into Eriksen. The 2 wide players are the most dangerous players, more so in the first half, I'd say. Mazraoui gets involved there with Eriksen. Lovely layoff to Eriksen. He's the perfect man on the edge of the box. You'd really fancy to come and score, and he stroked it away lovely. That's a great goal. A really good goal, especially in Europe. On the counter-attack, Scholes, you mentioned Fenerbahce dominated most of the ball. That was their first really attack, I think, for United in the 15th minute. Really well done from Ugarte, but a great counter-attacking goal, which you need away from home in Europe. But then Fenerbahce were piling on the pressure, weren't they? And we mentioned it at half-time that Manchester United have been throwing away leads in Europe after scoring first. And early in the second half, Fenerbahce capitalise and get the equaliser. But you know what, Jules? You got to stop the cross. Sam Maximin puts in a brilliant ball. It's literally perfect, and a really good header. Can Onana maybe come out? I think the ball's almost too low. I think if he collects it, it's almost kind of knee high. But we saw this against Porto, Jules. Stop the cross. Stop letting people cross the ball. Make him go down the line on his weaker left foot. It's too easy. Picks out a brilliant ball. To be fair, you have to say that goal was coming. The Ugarte block and the 2 Onana saves. But just stop the cross. That's too easy. And to be fair, it was a really good goal from Fenerbahce. I agree. I think Darlow's guilty of that quite a bit, Owen. And it's where Sam Maximin going. He's not going to cross it with his left foot. He's always going to cut inside and hit his right foot. He's got to be more. He's got more urgency about it. Get to him, stop the ball, because they've got a dangerous centre forward in the box. And if he hit a good ball like he did, could Onana come from? It's difficult to say. I'd probably say not. I'm not a goalkeeper expert, but I'd probably say no. I thought the ball was too good. I think the keeper probably expects Lindelof, or I think it was Martinez at the back post to deal with it. But really good ball, I think, and he's not going to miss from there. Could the defenders have done more as well? Well, you'd think so. One of them needs to attack it, but sometimes the ball is just so good. I think the ball from St. Maximin is low enough that the goalkeeper won't come and claim it, and the defenders, I just think they couldn't really get there. It was behind them. If you can't get there, you maybe got to find a way to bump him and Nesri. But it was a good attacking move. United should have dealt with it better, but I think it was a good attacking move. And we talked about Nesri before the match, didn't we? Because, of course, he scored 2 goals against Manchester United when he played for Sevilla, when they were last in the Europa League a couple of seasons ago. He was a handful, wasn't he, at times? Yeah, we knew he'd be a handful. As you say, we saw him first under Sevilla, and it was brilliant. He really bullied the 2 centre-halves that day, and that's why it's so important. Before the game, you think, stop the service into him, stop the crosses into him. Darlow he doesn't do that enough. Now, look, I think Darlow's been OK. He's been one of United's better players this season, but he's still got to get that side of his game right. It's far too easy to cross the ball. You've got to stop it at source, haven't you? And
if you don't stop it, there's always a chance that he's going to score because he's a real threat.
OK, let's take a look at the penalty shout, which ended up leading to Jose Mourinho being sent off because he wasn't happy with this not being given. This is what led to it. What did you think, Owen? Should they have had a penalty?
In real time, it looks like there's a lot of contact. You know, I don't want to say it's a brilliant dive because we don't really want to say that, but he sells it like you think, oh, there must be more contact there. When you see it from another angle, you can tell there's virtually no contact whatsoever. When Ugarte, he just pulls out. So there's no way that's going to be a penalty. Mourinho, close up, emotionally, he thought definitely, you know, a certainty it's a pen. And obviously probably said a few choice words and got himself sent off, but never ever was it a pen.
No, look, it's never a pen. And Jose must have said, so, do you know what, I quite enjoy watching Jose tonight. The bits we saw of him, there's a bit of enthusiasm back there with him, with the job. It looks like he's enjoying himself. He was, you know, laughing and joking.
He was having a giggle, wasn't he?
He was having a giggle when the keeper made a couple of saves. You think, well, what's going on here? But look, I enjoy watching him. He probably, well, he must have said something that, because his actions wasn't that bad. He's obviously said something that he possibly shouldn't have done.
Well, our reporter Danny Jameson, who's actually out in Istanbul, has confirmed that on the full-time whistle, Jose Mourinho did storm down the tunnel and had a few choice words to say then. Not very nice language is all I can say. I can't repeat what he said, Owen.
Go on, Jules.
We've been trying to figure out if we can say it in another way, but I don't think we can.
No. But to be fair,
football is a disgrace is basically what I'll leave it at.
Yeah. Well,
it was better than that, I promise.
If he sees it again, he knows it's not a penalty, surely.
He obviously wants it, Danny. He said he wasn't really that bothered about winning. Obviously,
yeah, he's
you can tell by his reaction, he obviously was.
Jose, will he be happy with a draw? Aside from the fact that obviously he said all that stuff, we've seen that he's been emotional tonight, but actually getting a draw against Manchester United with Fenerbahce side, will he actually be fairly pleased with the result?
I think he'll be all right with it, yeah. I mean, they're on 5 points now. They're in a decent position, obviously better than Manchester United. I thought they played okay, and I think he'll probably say that was a fair result in the game. United had spells, Fenerbahce had spells. He's got a good team there. You know, Tadic and Dzeko and Nesri, Sam Maximin. We've got a lot of good attacking players, Fred and Amrabat. So I think he'll be quite content. And obviously he gets into the knockout phases. You don't want to come up against a Mourinho team because he's just so good in these moments.
OK, well, we're going to...
So, Jose Mourinho's reunion with Manchester United ended with the Portuguese watching from the stands. The Fenerbahce boss was sent off during their 1-1 draw with United in Istanbul. Jay Bothroyd, alongside me, was watching the game. A third straight draw in the Europa League for Manchester United. Anything to get excited about?
No, I'm sorry to say. I mean, I was looking forward to the game tonight. I mean, they chose a strong team. I think the talking point was Mazraoui playing as a number 10. You know, everyone I think that see that was really? Is he playing as a number 10? But yeah, he started off that way and he was involved in the goal. But it was Fenerbahce who absolutely dominated the game. First half, they were like 63% possession. They created better chances. They was more dynamic. They controlled the tempo of the game. Again, it's just like you look at the Man United players that are there, like Garnacho, Xerxes, Rashford, you know, and you can't help but think, why are they not performing? Why are they not performing to their ability? Because they're top players. They are top players. The only person you can look at is Ten Hag, his coaching staff, him as a manager. That's the only reason why fans, people look at Man United now and say, why are these players playing so badly? And, you know, that's why there's questions asked of him. I mean, Mazraoui playing as the number 10. When they changed that and put Eriksen in that number 10 position, they started playing better football. In the second half, they had, like, I think it was 49% possession. So they improved there, like they controlled more of the game. But still, that cutting edge has lacked Man United all this season. Yeah, and not to be able to beat Twente, Porto and Fenerbahce in the Europa League. 3 draws in a row, as I say. We mentioned it before, Jose Mourinho. I mean, I suppose inevitable, you know, he's like, you know, a magnet to the headlines, sent off. What did you make of the decision? I thought it was a bit harsh, to be honest. I mean, he was in his... I don't know what obviously, we can't hear what's been said down there, but, you know, there was a penalty that he thought was a penalty. I mean, when he looks at it back, it was Osei Samuel, and it was definitely a dive. So he's probably going to have a word with Osei Samuel. Maybe he'll have to pay that fine for Mourinho. But, I mean, ultimately, you know, Mourinho, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very passionate about the game. He thought it was a foul. And he just held his hands up and he was saying, like, how's that? What's that? What, you know, why haven't you given a penalty? And the referee came over and gave him a red card, and he's standing in the stands, you know, like that iconic, like, Arsene Wenger moment where he's got his arms out. But again, I thought it was harsh, and maybe he got that red card for his, you know, the history of, you know, his moments that we've seen throughout.
Yeah, well, 1-1 it finished, and Manchester United, it always seems Erik ten Hag is 1 or 2 matches away from ultimately potentially losing his job. Well, we'll see. Jay.
Third successive draw in the Europa League. What's your initial thoughts after the 1-1 draw here tonight?
Well, it's a big disappointment for me, for the fans, for the club. As a Manchester player now, you have obligation to try to win, and it's what we did today. But also we have to recognize it's a tough place to win, and yeah, we didn't win. At least we didn't lose. So not happy, of course not. But we move on. We are big guys. We take responsibility. Me, the first one, and we go again.
In the context of what you just said, being a difficult place to go, your manager asked you to play smart today. Do you feel like you did that, particularly after conceding the equaliser? You seem to be able to calm things down as a team.
The manager asked us to play smart.
He said to us before the game that because of the atmosphere, he had to play smart and manage the game really well. Do you feel like you did that, particularly in the second half? I
think, yes, we had more control than them second half, and yeah, we had more chances than them. And football sometimes is randomness, you know. We consider early goal in the second half, and we had to show character, and it's what we did. And yeah, unfortunately we didn't win, but I think we were better than them.
There was a big moment just before half-time, the 2 saves from Youssef and Nassiri. Can you talk me through those saves from your perspective, how you managed to get to both of them? We were amazed.
Well, for me, those saves are not important. You know, the most important thing is the victory of the team, no? And it's always nice to make this kind of saves and the team win. So today, we are all going back angry because we came here to win, even if we play against a very tough opponent. But we are Manchester United, so it's a big disappointment.
When the team was announced, we were a little bit surprised to see Noussair Mazraoui playing in midfield. How often have you practiced that this week, and how did you feel it worked tonight?
I think every player who are wearing this shirt are able to play any position, and Mazraoui is one of them. He did a good job for us, and yeah, we're happy with him. We're happy with his performance, and he used to play there when he was younger. So I think sometimes we have to be pragmatic, no, with the red cards, with injuries. So player needs some time to step up, and it's what Mazraoui did, and it was brilliant for the team because the team need him there. So yeah, I'm happy with him.
Appreciate your time. Thank you. Penalty incident that saw you red carded. What were your thoughts on the incident?
I don't want to speak about it.
You've just been in, I think, to see the referees. What did they say?
He told me something incredible. He told that at the same time he could see the action in the box and my behavior on the touchline. I congratulate him because he's absolutely incredible. His peripheral vision during the game, 100 miles per hour, he had one eye on the penalty situation and he had one eye on the bench and on my behavior. So that's the explanation he gave me. That's why he's one of the best referees in the world.
Have you had the chance to watch the incident back? Do you still think it was a penalty?
I watched the incident. I don't speak about the incident.
The game as a whole. The game as a whole got a point against Manchester United.
No, they got a point against us. They got a point against us, not us against them. We played amazing. I was telling the players, if we play like this in the Turkish league, we destroy every team. Because of course we played against a team that is a superior level than us. Of course the Premier League has more quality, more intensity, more pace, more everything. I think my boys did an amazing match. Probably in England, people will speak about 2 or 3 players of Man United that didn't play. You don't know how many of us didn't play. Because as a start, we have 4 players out of the Europa League list, and then we also had injuries, and then we had to finish the game with a centre-back playing right back, a right back playing left back. We had to do a crazy puzzle, but our performance was extraordinary. I couldn't ask anything more from the players. Onana made 2 incredible saves in our fantastic initial period because we started the game so well. They scored in a situation where we knew that they could, because the pace of the wingers and the arrival of the midfield players was something that we knew that they could hurt us. But I think we had a phenomenal performance.
To say it all, we saw you talk to Andre Onana just a moment ago and called him man of the match.
Come on, he saved the result. My goalkeeper didn't make a save. He made 2 impossible saves in 10 seconds. I think he's the most decisive player in the result. Of course, he didn't make 20 saves, but he made 2 saves that incredible. Onana can do it.
I do want to ask you about the way Manchester United set up. Were you as surprised as we were to see Nacer Mazraoui playing as a number 10 in midfield?
He can, and the coach knows him well. The coach coached him in Ajax. In Ajax, he played in that position. I think I understood what he was trying. Zirkzee is a striker that I know very well from my Italian time. He's a striker that drops back all the time, attracting defenders or no. Then the wingers to attack the space, and Mazraoui is also a runner. He's also a guy that can attack spaces. So I know also the English media. I know that you are going to say Man United didn't play well, but I think it would be fair to say that we did an extraordinary match and we were better than them. So good result for Man United.
So overall, pleased with your evening's work?
Yeah.
Appreciate your time. Thank you, Jose.
Good to see you.
Manchester United were unable to hold on to a lead once again as they were frustrated in a 1-1 draw at Fenerbahce in the UEFA Europa League. Christian Eriksen put the Premier League side ahead in the first half, but they were pegged back after Youssef En-Nesyri's header early in the second half. Fenerbahce boss Jose Mourinho was sent to the stands for his protestations over a refereeing decision. Jose Mourinho was shown a red card as his Fenerbahce side came from behind to earn a 1-1 draw against Manchester United in a high-octane UEFA Europa League clash in Istanbul. The former Red Devils boss was sent to the stands after reacting angrily to seeing his team denied what he felt should have been a second-half penalty for a trip on Bright Osayi Samuel. United had weathered some early pressure to silence a typically hostile crowd on 15 minutes when Christian Eriksen pinged a brilliant first-time strike into the top corner from just inside the area. Marcus Rashford went close to adding a second with a lovely run and shot before Andre Onana produced an outstanding double save to keep out 2 close-range headers from Youssef En-Nesyri. However, the former Sevilla striker who had scored twice when the La Liga side knocked United out of this competition back in 2023, levelled within 4 minutes of the restart when he headed home an inviting left-wing cross. United controlled much of the second period, but could not find the winner as they once again let a lead slip to make it 3 successive draws in this competition. Erik ten Hag's team selection raised a few eyebrows ahead of kick-off, not least in the TNT Sports studio where former Red Devils stars Owen Hargreaves and Paul Scholes were a bit perplexed to see fullback Nacer Mazraoui operating in a number 10 role. However, the new-look United were energetic and lively, countering dangerously and throwing their bodies on the line when Fenerbahce did turn the screw in an impressive first-half showing. But a 1-0 interval lead is never comfortable for a Red Devils side that aren't known for keeping teams out, and it was perhaps unsurprising that an early lapse following the restart saw them fail to win after scoring first for the 6th time in their last 8 European matches. A draw was not a disaster by any means here, but the familiar pattern will be frustration for United supporters, who will still have high hopes of going deep in this competition despite what feels like a long wait for a win, and the concerning current position of 21st in the UEFA Europa League standings. Player of the match Manuel Ugarte, Man United. The combative Uruguayan is still finding his feet following his move from PSG, but this was arguably his best display so far. The 23-year-old had a role in winning the ball and starting the move for Eriksen's opener and made several important interceptions and tackles, including a goal-saving block in the first half.